Hello everybody, Bryos here. Today we are looking at one of the more interesting mechs of the game, and this beautiful mech you see here is the 40-ton clan Omni-mech, the Viper, which is well known for its good mobility, or rather excellent mobility, but more well known for its insane jump capability, ranking up there with the Spider and one of the Cicada variants as the most jump capable mechs of the game. So very jump capable and exceedingly agile. So this build also is what we call a flying Piranha build. I'll get into the build later. But before that, let's talk about the Viper in general. The Viper is one of my favorite mechs, by the way. In terms of aesthetics, it's probably my favorite mech. Alex did a great job with this, and other people like Lauren and all that did fantastic on the pattern. But in terms of gameplay, the Viper is honestly a very challenging mech. And that's because with its high speed and high mobility, you not only get into trouble pretty fast and often, to be honest, but also with the bad hitboxes for the legs and the side torsos, it gets punished easily. So it's a challenging mech to play. But if you play it well, if you like hit and run, this build excels in the hit and run harassing role, and also it's an excellent scout. It can give you pretty good rewards as you see in the gameplay. But in short, it's a challenging mech to play, and it's hard to push out damage sometimes. But anyway, let's get down to this build which you see here. So this build is known as the Flying Piranha build. It's a build that I used quite some time back, and also Magic Plane Glove also has been using this, pushing it out as he does really well, as he tends to do anyway. So let's get down to mech lab and let's take a look at the Flying Piranha build. So the Flying Piranha build, firstly, let's talk about Omnipods. It actually needs the Medusa arms because the Medusa arms have 3 energy hard points. So you need the left and right arm of the Medusa, which is the hero of the Viper, and the Viper A side torsos for additional energy hard points. We are actually using the Viper C center torso. That's because the Viper C has 1 energy hard point in the CT. And the weapons on this, with all these 11 hard points, include 7 ER micro lasers, 4 small pulse lasers in the side torsos, 12 double heatsinks, and an additional targeting comp to increase the range of all these short range weapons. And why is this called the Flying Piranha build? Well, it's similar to the Piranha 2, which runs something similar, but it flies, Flying Piranha. But anyway, let's get down to the skills. After I tell you, it goes at a speed of 129.6, very decent. And you can even speed tweak. This is without speed tweak. So let's get down to the skills. So with all these skills, we don't really need laser duration, because even though the ER micro lasers might benefit from this, with such a short duration for the ER micro lasers, it makes almost no difference. A few microseconds difference is not worth the SPs. But anyway, 33 SPs in the firepower tree, going mainly for heat, as usual, heat generation nodes, and also targeting a bit of range, because those weapons are really short range. So with all these combinations, you have a heat reduction of 7.2%, while a range boost of 14%. A bit of cooldown, 4.2%, but negligible. In terms of survival, just a bit. As I mentioned, the Viper has pretty bad hitboxes, and I tend to get into trouble with it going too far forward. So a bit of survival just to get a few more points helps a bit. 8.8% armor and 7.4% structure with those 10 SPs. With its extremely high mobility, it'd be very tempting to put even more SPs in mobility tree because it's a percentage multiplier, but it's kind of fast enough, so I saved a few SPs here. Only 9 SPs, I tend to spend 16, but today only 9 in the mobility tree, boosting the mobility by 10.5% for acceleration, similarly for decel, but a 12% turn rate bonus. As for operations, because this build can be quite hot, especially if you do sustained fire, I'm going for 20 points in operations for 5 nodes of cool run, for 10% heat dissipation, and of course my favorite, 5 nodes of heat containment for increased heat capacity. Also 9 SPs in sensors for the radar deprivation of 60%, because as you run around you'll be targeted and you want to lose those missile locks pretty fast. Yet again, it'll be nice to go for 100%, but I'm going for a more balanced build, an 80-20 principle if you know what I mean. So finally we go to auxiliary tree. 10 SPs for 2 strikes, which are really effective. By the way, if you're using a fast mobile mech, I do recommend 2 strikes because you're able to get into a good position early and drop those strikes. So that's one advantage of fast movers with strikes. And of course, because it's yet again a hot build, 2 cool shots running through the center. So that's it. That is the Viper C Flying Piranha build, and I must warn you, it is a challenge to play. You might see some gameplay coming up which shows it doing well, but there's also some games that I just die pathetically because it's a very unforgiving mech to play. So anyway, let's get down to some gameplay and I'll show you that this build in the right hands is really effective as a hit and run mech and a harasser. So let's go. For the first match of this video, we have a match on Viridian Borg, and here I am in my Viper already scouting forward on the right flank of the team. That's the good thing to do as you have the mobility and the speed because you can move up, check out the enemy disposition, their facing and their location, and relay it back to the team. Remember, intel is firepower and it helps the team win. It also helps that I have a flea buddy in front of me on my right here, as you can see. So I'm just keeping him company. He'll be outpacing me, so I'm just going to be a fallback point for him. So if he gets into trouble, he can fall back to me and we can share aggro. But right now, checking out the usual spots, Echo 5 high, and I think my flea buddy has found a dire. So here we have one Jaeger mech here.
Foxtrot Jaeger, spotted.
Yeah, he seems isolated. Using the spot command on the command wheel to pinpoint him. Waiting for reinforcements.
Converge on Echo 5.
The problem with this kind of builds, you don't want to be too aggressive. Sometimes you just want to push them. But the enemy is reinforcing, a dire is really coming up. So I'm waiting for my own buddies to form up and there they come. So it's time to push them. 2 of them at least. Trying to hit the strikes.
Fast movers, let's go up, get a Jaeger. Watch for the smoke, if any.
But couldn't drop it.
Charlie.
So this poor guy, this Jaeger is being surrounded by friendlies. 3 of us at least. Blowing off his arms. Probably XL.
He's down.
XL checked
There was a dire, watch out for it.
So lots of comms.
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
To the team, so at least the team knows what to look out for.
Yep, don't walk into that whole team.
Oof. So took a bit of friendly damage. Lots
Yep,
of
they're all
enemies.
there. Echo 6 ramp.
Lots of enemies on the Echo 6 ramp. Dropped the strike. Waiting for it to hit. Then I'll do some hit and run in the confusion. I like to shoot people when the strikes come down because they can't really see me properly. So I did a bit of corner peeking and doing a bit of damage here. Also drawing aggro.
Bravo Bushwhacker right torso.
That means I'm going to draw the attention of the enemy team a bit as my friends come on our left flank. So the big guy is coming in already. So we are flanking them in a pincer maneuver here. Fast maneuvers, fast mechs like me on the right. Well, the big guys are on the left flank. Picking out Bravo, but I don't want to stay there too long. The flaw with this, or all Dragonflies rather, is that it can't take damage. So you got to do a more of a hit and run approach, like hit the enemy like the Bushwhacker and then running back to reinforce the spider. Taking out that poor guy isolated at the back, that Hellbringer.
Dire. Delta. Both side torsos.
So reshifting my position from the right flank to the left flank. My 6 ER micros are in my arms, so you can actually shoot down a bit.
Alpha, go get it.
At this point, we're just sharing armor. The Mauler is pushing, so I'm going to support him. Always try to push when the enemy is focused on another mech. In other words, aggro is on another mech. Using the mobility of this build to strike, hit and run and cull those poor mechs. Like this poor dire is in trouble. Can I get the kill? Yeah, easily. So that's an example how to play the Dragonfly rather than go in as a frontal assault. Let your friends draw the aggro and then come in from the sides or the rear. As you can see, my arm has fallen off. Vipers are pretty fragile, but we have the advantage. It's 6-4.
Push into the Jaeger, please. CT open, Jaeger. Foxtrot.
Yeah, Foxtrot is really calling him out so the team can focus the efforts
Echo
on him.
also.
Bravo is called, I call him Echo, but that was a mistake. So another kill for me, 7-4, 6 kills already I think. I still have a bit of armor, so sharing it with the team. I think the team is a bit low on armor, that is. They have a learn boat here also. So in a sustained fire, this build can generate a lot of heat. So I'm a bit too far forward. Team was a bit passive. I thought when I push they'll follow me. But no, let Bryos charge, let him die, sure. So anyway, falling back to behind this smoking crab. Gonna let him take point here. Yep. Letting fire and draw aggro. Then I come in. Oh, I wanted that kill. So 10-5, we more or less have this. Really badly hurt though. Oof. One big shot from the UX Fafner more or less caused me. Being greedy here, I really want to do some damage here. Oh, another assault. So a Slapner and a Fafner are the last ones left. 10-6. CT cord. I still have a bit of weapons and jump capability. So trying to do some damage as this Cyclops' attention is focused on somebody else. But oh, he looks at me and oh, that's what happens when you're too aggressive.
They're both caught.
Andres gets the kill, but an amazing amount of damage. So let's hope the team doesn't throw. This guy's varmint, shutting down. Ooh, he's really hot. He's also really caught. Let's see if the team can win this.
Varmint, good luck.
11-10.
They're both badly caught.
So thankfully the flea is fresh, except for his right leg. Still a very tense match. One shot on the flea, he'll lose his leg. And with the firepower of the Fafnir and the Cyclops, it's gonna be fatal. And of course, this guy's varmint is really caught. But Spanky's a pretty good player. So let's see if we can take out this mech here, the Fafnir. Maybe the Fafnir's out of ammo. Phantom 87.
Yep, he's a stick. Go for the Cyclops.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Oh,
right?
there is no Cyclops.
But he's a stick
Alright,
now.
have fun.
But it's a stick, as I was saying. Oh, gets the kill. So I did an amazing amount of damage. Granted, it's from the strikes, but lots of hit and run, a lot of harassing, 6 kills. But let's take a look at the detailed scoreboard here. Great job by the team, closer than it looked. 1,371 damage, 4 KMDD, 6 kills, amazing. And with a hit and run approach, you can do well because once you FaceTime the enemy like I did at the end, you just die sadly. So a match score of 8-6. So let's go on to the next match. So as you can see, that last match was really intense and I was rewarded nicely. But that's of course lucky and not all matches go well. As I said, Vipers are very unforgiving to play and some matches you just die sadly. But if you play the mech to its strength, any mech to its strength, and you try not to play against its weaknesses, you can do well, like I did in that match. And once I played to its weakness, like against the Cyclops, you just get punished. But anyway, we are on a map that really doesn't suit this build at all, and of course that's Polar Highlands, as you can see from all this snow. And of course you probably noticed I fast forwarded this part because it's the initial part of the match. We're just looking at the enemy, pinpointing their locations, and playing a bit of the waiting game. Team is rather passive, so it looks as though we're going to do a defensive approach to this match. And also on this match we have Ladywolfe in a Vulcan 5T. Great lady, great player, also a streamer, and I think she muted herself here, so that's kind of sad. So you can hear her voice otherwise, and her vulgarities. But anyway, so we played well together. Subconsciously, I was playing offer. That means where she goes, I accompany her, and vice versa. When you do that, when that happens, that does well. And as I was saying, if you can find somebody to do that in a match, it's always good because we have similar speed and mobility. So we can gang up on people and do well. So anyway, right now I'm checking out the flanks as usual. I like to bring my mechs to the flanks, in this case the right flank, so I can get a better view of the enemy. So lots of targets there. Gonna relay the location of that mech to the friendly. I think it's a Direwolf. Dropping my second strike, hoping to do a bit of damage on this slow mech. And I don't think I get any hits. Nope, no hits at all. He saw it and reversed. So I'm trying to draw the enemy forward other than giving intel to the team. Black Widow comes up. Interesting build. ERPPCs and ACs. Probably XL. Or a very slow light fusion. So enemy team is moving up slowly, as you can see. They're using their right flank to bring up their fast lights and mediums, and the big guys are going down the center.
Yep.
So comms are good in this match, as you can hear. Cherokee also giving lots of targeting info to the team. If you look at the minimap, enemy team is slowly moving up, but more importantly, friendly team is balled up. And I'm just spying on the enemy. So it's time to make my move. Urban Mech isolated here. Going to do a bit of damage to him, draw him out. There's also a Black Widow somewhere here. But like I said, Vipers are very unforgiving. I'll just showing myself a bit to draw some aggro, and I'm gonna run to the other flank.
They're pushing forward now. Let's defend. Call targets.
Yeah, enemy is slowly
They're pushing through Juliet line.
pushing forward in Juliet line.
New target acquired.
Staying a bit to the rear of the main force as a reserve.
UAV up.
Obviously no range.
Still hunchback on right flank.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Push on the right flank.
Acquired.
Good comms here. Ladywolfe on my left flank here. One Brawler Veagle, I think. also. Mech to be very aggressive, gonna take lots of damage doing that.
Acquired.
Myriad in his flee, also doing the harassing role.
New target acquired.
So enemy fast movers have shifted to this flank. Mech 2B goes in, one supernova also, so it's time for me to bug out.
New target
This mech is an opportunist mech, not a
Right
brawler.
flank, try to hit towards hotel. Left flank, watch out.
So
All
we are
salts are being left behind.
we are pretty strung out, as you can see. Trying to keep the team together.
target.
Mech 2B really wants to push forward, he's on my right flank. Is he dead?
New
He might be.
acquired.
So probing the right flank. As you can see, enemy team is on my left right now.
Juliet 9, converge.
So if you slow down the left flank,
New target
we can
acquired.
turn in from there, and the front guys can focus on a few mechs only. So time to fall back.
Focus in the 8 guys, don't stare at the flea.
Like I said, lots of hit and run. Myriad and his flee drawing lots of aggro. With the jump capability of this mech, you want to go upwards and pop touch.
As we make a small
So it gives me a good intel here. Picking on that Irby. Managed to call
There's
his rear.
Juliet 9, pushing that way.
Yep, his rear is
India.
caught. Smoke comes in, time to run away. We are balling up nicely, but they're hitting us from our left
Gotta
and
do
right.
something, push somewhere. Suggest we push left, Juliet 9.
Yeah, this is what
Because our Atlas is there.
this is the problem with passive teams. You're gonna get outflanked pretty soon.
New target
So we need the big guys to push.
Warhammer, Bravo, and right
India?
Pop starting to focus on the right flank of
India right torso.
this Mad Dog. Lots of missiles, short range missiles. Don't want to
Yep, India half a mech.
don't want to go in too close.
Push Juliet 9 guys, push.
This Atlas has really got to go in. This Mech 2 is aggressive.
Charlie Black Widow.
So let's keep in company.
counter rotation.
Shoot what he shoots.
Juliet 9, Juliet 10, right?
Standing behind him, but not too
Push,
near.
push. Assaults, you push, we follow.
So I can pop tart.
Dyer is here by the way.
Team is going to counter push right now on the left flank, harassing the Dire. Better he try to shoot me and miss, than shoot the big guys who can't avoid this fire.
Dyer is Echo. Right, left torso.
Ooh, left also open. ERPPC build, interesting.
Echo on top.
It's going to be really hot. He's falling back, he can't deal with my harassment. And that's what you do with this mech. You harass, hit and run. So dealing with Myriad a bit.
Werewolf down, good.
Whatever I'm doing to the team,
Oh, don't stand behind my Viper.
the enemy team rather, he can also do to my team. So gotta neutralize him.
Yep.
Hey, Warhammer on top.
One Black Lantern in the rear, dealing with Lady, so I'm gonna support her.
Fresh. Foxtrot, Juliet
Lady
9.
coming to you. What's there?
I'm sure she can deal with him, but
acquired.
a bit of help never hurts. So it's an ER large
India 10 Black
laser.
Lantern on the run.
It's an
Juliet.
ER large laser Black Lantern trying to hit our rear, but Lady countered him. So that's a good play by Ladywolfe here. He's trying to make a run for it, running straight, and as you can see, he's being punished for it.
Target destroyed.
No jinking, and he goes down.
The freaking stealth.
Very close match, 7-7. This Irby is also running in and out of the friendly team, doing lots of damage.
No worries, call out the coordinates. That's hotel, left torso. Hunchy.
So
Killer,
like,
left torso.
I always said, fast movers must always counter the enemy fast movers. So huge brawl here, 3 versus 3 in this area. I just castrated that Misslings.
Pulse laser destroyed.
Enemy is coming in with Kilo, this stealth, but they switched it off. Stealth Thanatos. Right torso is called. Can I get him? At least chop off his right torso. He was causing problems to the team, so it's time to use my speed and mobility to take off that right torso.
Nice
and
one, Lady.
Lady gets him.
9-8.
XL tracked him. This Misslings has no weapons.
Acquired.
Yep, I remember that. I castrated him.
Heat level critical. New target.
Focus on the Black Widow. Let's all charge the Black Widow. Foxtrot. Ignore the Misslings. There's also an Irby, India 9.
Acquired.
With the Misslings castrated and a match really close at 9-8, and don't forget I'm missing a side torso, it's time to focus on the biggest threat. That's the Urban Mech here and the Black Widow, which is even more cord. So let's try to take out the Black Widow. Light Fusion Engine. Good build by the way, 4 UX5s.
Critical.
So Ladywolfe comes in. Both of us tag teaming on this guy. One from the front, one from behind. You can see Ladywolfe repositioning to the rear of the Black Widow as I take the front. And she gets the kill. Great teamwork, lady. So that's how you should play. Be aware of your friendly team, not just the enemy. But right now it's 10-8. We more or less have this. Irby is the biggest threat,
Destroyed.
and he goes down to the Atlas. Lady getting the last win.
Nice one, team.
And it's a glorious win. Very long match, but very gratifying. Lost my right torso, but I think we did quite a bit in this match. Ladywolfe I'm sure did well also. So let's look at the scores. So 817 is fantastic. Only one kill, but I did a lot of things that wasn't killing people. And I guess I'll be rewarded for it. So Lady did well, 590 max score and a max score of 6394 for me, which is nice because I didn't get many kills.